Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Madman. Go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. We're so close to 2,000 subscribers. Let's get that final push, the final little 400, and get over the hump. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know every time we upload a video. Today we'll be discussing the firing of Michigan offensive coordinator, co-offensive coordinator, and quarterback coach Matt Weiss after 2 years on the job, as well as some recruiting updates. And I'm upset Jim Harbaugh and Ward Emanuel not talking to each other since May of last year is disrespect. I'm gonna tell him I'm mad. I'm upset because Ward Emanuel, the athletic director of Michigan Athletics, the University of Michigan Athletics, apparently has not spoken with the two-time defending Big Ten champion head football coach Jim Harbaugh since May of last year. All this is according to an article, or according to John Bacon, who reported on the Michigan Insider with Sam Webb this morning, that the two have not spoken since May of last year. That just doesn't seem like a productive way to get things done, i.e. the coach with feelers out in the NFL to see if, there was some interest there in the offseason after a second straight trip to the college football playoff. Could it be that Ward Emanuel has a problem? I don't know. I'm not going to accuse Ward Emanuel of anything. However, Jim Harbaugh is very, very important to the Michigan football program. You two need to get it together. Now back to what we hear. Speaking of Ward Emanuel, he made the decision today to fire offensive coordinator, Michigan offensive coordinator / quarterback coach Matt Weiss. All this stemming from a criminal investigation involving Weiss that the University of Michigan police called a, quote, computer access crime. He's being investigated for multiple computer access crime. It has been not the greatest offseason for Michigan football optically. Obviously, there was the holdout, or not holdout, but flirtation with the NFL again from Jim Harbaugh this season. There's obviously this Matt Weiss situation. There is obviously some tumult in the relationship with Coach Harbaugh and the athletic director Ward Emanuel. The only positive, consistent positive in all of these situations seems to be President Santa Ono. The only Santa we promo is Ono. He apparently got the deal done, or at least got Jim Harbaugh to agree to return. There has been no particulars on the deal yet. In fact, Jim Harbaugh pretty much came out and said that nothing had been inked yet, but he is on board, at least for 2023 so far. That being said, Matt Weiss released a statement where he said, "I am proud of the success we achieved over the last 2 seasons. Grateful to all the Michigan players, coaches, and staff. The potential of Team 144 knows no bounds. I have nothing but respect for the University of Michigan and the people who make it such a great place. I look forward to putting this matter behind me and returning my focus to the game that I love." Michigan, obviously, last season had a top 10 offense with Matt Weiss as co-offensive coordinator, along with co-offensive coordinator Sharon Moore and offensive line coach. They had a top 10 offense, scoring more than 40 points per game last season. It's going to be interesting to see who Michigan decides to replace Matt Weiss with. In fact, leave your comments below. Let me know who you think are some of the candidates that Michigan can replace Matt Weiss with. I've heard names like Brian Shaw come up. That's a pretty obvious one. Of Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh and Brian Shaw worked together at Stanford, with Shaw being his offensive coordinator at Stanford. So let me know in the comment section what you guys would like, who you guys would like to have an offensive coordinator. Do we just promote Sharon Moore to the position fully? Or are there some outside candidates that you would like to see in that position? This is a huge recruiting weekend for Michigan football, as they will have plethora of 2024 targets on campus, as well as a 2023 target in Cameron Brandt, the defensive lineman out of Sierra Canyon, California, 4-star, will be on campus. He was a former Stanford commit. However, after former Stanford head coach David Shaw stepped down, Michigan really ramped up the pressure on Brandt, who was concerned about who his next head coach would be. Looks like those questions have been answered. He really only had two schools in the running. That was Stanford and Michigan. And it looks like Michigan may be able to close the deal on Brandt this weekend. 2024 Grayson, Georgia 4-star interior lineman Walt Claire Flynn. He's the number 113 overall prospect in the 2024 class. There hasn't been much buzz between Michigan and Flynn since he was offered back in July, but he will be on campus this weekend for Junior Day. Finch, Ohio 4-star edge Brian Robinson, the number 127 overall prospect. This one is a big one. Brian Robinson, you may have heard me talk about in previous videos. It's a big-time edge rusher out of Ohio. This will be a major get and win for Michigan. And this will be at least his 6th time on campus to visit Ann Arbor since last offseason, including trips to the barbecue at the Big House and 3 home games last season. He still does not hold an offer from the other state, and all the crystal balls so far have him going to Michigan. Hopefully Michigan can go ahead and wrap this one up this weekend. Also on campus is Michigan commit 4-star offensive tackle out of Avon, Ohio, Luke Hamilton. This is probably going to be big for people like Brian Robinson. There's another Ohio prospect on the visitors list this weekend too. To have a commit from Ohio be there to discuss and kind of help recruit these guys is going to be massive. Luke Hamilton, of course, famously was at the Ohio State-Michigan game along with fellow Ohioan Cameron Calhoun, and both of whom decided to commit to Michigan that day. So hopefully he can get in the ear of some of these other guys. Another big prospect on campus is Bolingbrook, Illinois 4-star wide receiver Amarian Stewart. Michigan has been in this recruitment a long time. He just recently released the top 7 that included Michigan, Notre Dame, as well as some other schools. Michigan's been recruiting him, like I said, for a while now, and despite flirtations with Tennessee and Illinois, still looks like Michigan is the front runner. Hopefully Ron Bellamy, Sharon Moore can close the door on this one as well. 3-star St. Edward, Ohio offensive tackle Ben Roebuck will also be on campus. This is the other guy I was telling you about, that having Luke Hamilton on campus would be a positive. Another Ohio prospect, 3-star defensive lineman Ted Hammond from St. Xavier, Ohio, will also be on campus, and a 2025 prospect from Beaufort, Georgia, unranked as of now, linebacker Mantrez Walker. I will have updates on those visits for you on a later video. But now let's talk about 5-star quarterback Jaden Davis. Everyone's favorite Michigan quarterback prospect, 5-star Jaden Davis, and his family seem to be back on track, if you will, with Michigan after Santa Ono made the announcement that Jim Harbaugh would be returning. There was a little bit of flux there for a while with Davis and his family. TMI recently caught up with Davis's father, who had this to say: "We took a step back and allowed it to kind of play out the way it was going to happen. And then once the president announced that he spoke with Coach Harbaugh and that he was coming back, we kind of took a deep breath and said, okay, let's see where we're at." But that was only the 2023 class. So we had a conversation with him being Coach Harbaugh, Wednesday night, and asked some very deliberate questions about his future Is he planning on staying for the long haul, or did he still have those little itches of trying to win a Super Bowl and going back to the league? I'll tell you that he was deliberate. He said that he loves Michigan, which you can tell from talking to him. He truly loves the place, but there are some things that the administration and Coach Harbaugh have to work out, because at the end of the day, I think he wants to be there long term and for the duration of his coaching career. And that's great. That's music to the ears of a Michigan fan, that Coach Harbaugh wants to be there for the duration of his career. We'll see how that plays out. But Jaden Davis recently spoke with the other state head coach, Ryan Day, which is crazy because Jim Harbaugh recently spoke with former the other state commit, Ryan Raiola, in Arizona. So it's a very interesting sequence of events transpiring right now. But I do believe Michigan needs to close the door on Davis and have him be a member of the 2024 class and really start to help in the recruitment for 2024. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think Davis is a lock for Michigan? Do you think having him in the class, in the fold, would help with the recruiting? All that, let me know in the comment section. Till next time, though, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Maize Madman. Like and subscribe to the channel. And now, until next time, I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. We're about to go to the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down, son. I just don't get that all that Maize and that lock and all that fuck. I just don't get it, son, for real. And how the